Calls coming from inside the house.
It all began with a scream over 911.
Isn't there another story about a guy with an axe hiding in a woman's back seat?
These days, you gotta have a sequel. Yeah!
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
This is the end, friend.
Welcome.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the 90s horror show, where today we're going to talk about Fire in the Sky, which is a film from 1993, which was wrapped up really bad in distribution. And I remember I had a friend who was a huge fan of the movie as well, and he told me, man, do you know what? You can only get like Fire in the Sky on like a Canadian DVD or something.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, dude, that movie scares the living shit out of me. Like, when I was a kid, that movie used to terrify me, and I would watch it on HBO all the time. And it's not a traditional horror movie, but we are going to delve into the horror elements, because I started making so many horror arguments for it as it was playing, because I knew I was going to have to at least...
fight that, yeah.
Yeah, try to. Anyway, I am Shane, and with me on Skype is Joe, or Cowell3, from the internet.
YouTube.
From YouTube.
Yeah, I have my own domain now. But yeah, this movie, I don't know, it's a little lacking in the horror department, I think. So, but hey, we were gonna do Phantoms, right? But that fell through. So
yeah, Phantoms, by the way, a movie
coming up.
I still have yet to see.
Want to do it.
Yeah, so we could probably do it next month or the month after, because we've decided to do this monthly, and I've asked Joe to join me monthly, and he says that he's able to be my period. See, dude, I had to make it's so lame, but I had to make that joke because it's monthly. But anyway,
okay, we could do it. We could maybe more often. I don't know, but the 90s horror, it's going to be a good thing to explore.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the thing of it is, Phantoms is this movie that I believe you and Mike Russo from the Growing Up Not Growing Old podcast both told me on this very show that's not a horror movie about phantoms. And I was like,
really?
Yeah. No, wait
I
a
like
minute.
that movie.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you said that's not a horror movie, dude. That's a thriller. Because he said that too, and then I was like, what? And then I looked it up, and it's like Phantoms, like a 1998 thriller mystery or something, and I'm like, huh? And then
with Batfleck, yeah, I mean, it has it's good. It's good. It's better than that. Yeah, I would give it.
Yeah,
we'll do it. We'll do it one of the episodes.
But here's the thing: you read the like description, in the first sentence, it's like an evil spirit. I'm like, that's not a thriller.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what it says.
It's a horror movie. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I'm like, well, like, if you're saying an evil spirit, spirits, ghosts typically aren't in thrillers. Like, thrillers are either more psychological or more serial killer based.
Yeah, it's a Dean Koontz book, so I mean,
okay.
Yeah, it's horror. It's horror. I mean, it's kind of laughable at points, but I still always enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
And Fire in the Sky, this is actually the second time I ever watched it. I saw it when it first came in theaters, and then I remember kind of not liking it too much when I left the theater. It is a good film, though. I mean,
dude,
it's just not really a horror film.
Dude, Robert Patrick, first off, let me just start by saying I forgot Robert Patrick was even in this movie, because all I remember is it's like Fire in the Sky, starring D.B. Sweeney. And I'm like, oh yeah, D.B. Sweeney was around for like 4 years or something. from like 92 to like 95 or 96. He had like a short career.
It's like it is pretty 90s. It's got Robert Patrick, Craig Sheffer, Peter Berg. It's like, oh my,
Dude, Peter Berg, which by the way, Craig Sheffer, who most people know as Uncle Keith from One Tree Hill. No. But I mean, he has like a body of work that's horror as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, he's from horror. Robert Patrick started doing like horror movies. You know, like Robert Patrick. Well, I mean, he kind of did the whole what is it? The whole like not the movie, but thing Nicolas Cage does, where it's basically like I just do movies for paychecks. Yeah. So anything that they throw at me.
The werewolf guy on True Blood, I think, if I remember correctly, and he did that one show on Channel 2 where they're all like soldiers, but it was like a military, you know.
Yeah, he also did one of those weird After Dark Horror Fest movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's done
about like an abandoned hospital or something, and then there what
Robert Patrick and his brother, isn't his brother in that one band or whatever? They're like, he wasn't in 9's Nails for a minute or something, but they're like total 90s guys. Yeah, I mean, I always laugh every time when I was watching this movie. I'm like, this is a perfect 90s movie, though. I mean,
no,
Peter Berg too. He's another one. I mean, Peter Berg did Shocker, and then he's made a bunch of movies now, like Battlefield. Not Battlefield, but what's the one where they
Battleship.
Battleship. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Peter Berg stepped behind the camera, like mid career, but I always remember him from The Great White Hype, which I know no one knows what that is.
No, hardly anybody knows what that is. I know.
I love that fucking The Great White Hype, guys. You got to Google this movie, man.
McGregor. That's what there's this Irish guy online that through Facebook that watches every single movie, and I was like, oh, you've never seen The Great White Hype? We were talking about Colin McGregor, and I was like, kind of reminds me of that movie.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect example.
No, dude, totally. Not only that, he was in Jade, which was like a big deal for like Linda Fiorentino's career back then. There was somebody else in that movie that I'm missing, but it was like Peter Berg was in it too. And she was all like, she did all those weird like Cinemax movies before she was in Men in Black. And you're like, that's really weird. Cause it's like, yeah, dude, she was getting like nailed by like guys wearing like a cummerbund and stuff at like a dinner party on like Cinemax at 3 a.m. And then next thing you know, she's like, hey, Will Smith, how could I help you guys in this PG-13 movie? And it's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like, it's weird that you're in this movie. And then, yeah, dude. And then Kevin Smith put her in like what Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And you're like, are you going to get naked? No, you're not a sexual character. Okay, this is weird. Like I grew up jerking off to you. It's weird, lady. But no, anyway, wow. You know what though? You know what I love about this 90s horror show is that every time we're talking about a film from the 90s, it just on its own breeds more and more 90s talk. So I like that because I never talk about the 90s ever because nobody cares about that. And people especially don't care about the 80s. So I'm like, oh my God, man, you guys remember that commercial? And I'll Google like Burger King commercials from the 80s and be like, man, remember this? And people are like, no, not really. And I'm like, man, I remember this commercial.
The 90s, yeah. It's kind of good for me too because a lot of it was a haze because, that's like when I turned 18 and 21 and all that. So, I felt a little bit like D.B. Sweeney some nights when I came home. I was like,
my God, dude, he
Friends
really.
Tijuana.
Like, oh my God, there he
Garner
is.
In this movie.
Oh my God.
Explain the movie, or I mean, like.
Yeah. It's about getting to that time. Basically, okay, Fire in the Sky is based on one man's account, is what the trailer used to always say, because they would play the trailer over and over on the preview channel, and they'd be like, tonight on HBO, Fire in the Sky, starring D.B. Sweeney, based on one man's account. That's what it would always say, and it's like, wait, what? But yeah, based on a true story, Travis Walton in Snowflake, Arizona, was out with his logger buddies, finishing a contract. They were coming home, and they see what looks like a fire or some kind of bright light, but they're like, it's too bright to be a light. They don't know what it is, so they investigate. Travis gets out, and it's basically a UFO. The UFO strikes him down with a beam, and there's smoke coming off his body, so they're like, he's dead, he's dead, let's get out of here. And of course, Robert Patrick, who's his best friend, mind you, which is important for the telling of the movie.
Brother-in-law almost also. Yeah.
Brother-in-law almost. Yeah. As in... And so basically he's like, dude, like we gotta, I gotta see if he's okay. And everyone is screaming he's dead. So it's like, that's important for his character to be like, fuck, okay, whatever. Like I got these other guys here. We're alive. We didn't get out of the car. Like we just gotta go. But that's, that's Travis. That's the homie. So he drives far enough away and he's like, okay, you guys gotta get the fuck out because I gotta go back. By the way, no cursing. It's a PG-13 movie, but I'll curse. to make it sound
I'll
cooler.
get as mad as I can get,
Yeah, he'll be like,
George!
he'll be like, get out, man. If you guys don't want to come with me, that's fine. But I'm not gonna leave him there. Oh, by the way, Robert Patrick is 12 and almost doesn't look like Robert Patrick, which is like
he's
super weird.
He has long hair. I'm not used to.
Right.
He's all like sort of thick for him. He's like still thin, but
yeah, very.
He just looks different. He looks
very
like
muscular.
It's like they all look like shady guys, which I was kind of laughing because I'm like, I had to read about Travis Walton, a little bit more. Like I said, I knew a little bit, because I'd seen the movie before, but I was like, people just have to widely consider this a hoax. I mean, he basically went disappearing in the woods for a few days,
Yeah.
Right? I mean, James Gardner's character is funny. His last scene in the movie too.
Well, yeah, but but everybody. And by the way, Travis Walton, that was a case that I had read about because when I was a kid, before this movie came out, like even like younger, I was always getting UFO books. I was always reading UFO nonsense, and it's because it scared me. And also, I think like some of my early memories, it's like my mom was always had like stories when I was a kid, and she'd always be like, oh yeah, one time, your uncle said he saw this, and I'm like, well, what could that be? And she's like, a UFO, and I'm like, what's a UFO? And actually, really quick because I know this is an 80s cast, but I think it was the 80s when this happened.
Yeah.
And they had that ice cream sandwich called UFO. And I literally think that's where I went, Mom, what's a UFO? And then she went, oh, well, it's unidentified flying object. And I went, what's that? And she went, aliens. And I went, what's an alien? And then from there, it was just like, shut up, kid, read a book. Yeah. Exactly. So
it's a great subject, though. That's why I was kind of hoping. I was like, since, it lacks a little bit in the horror department of this movie, I was like, the one thing I'm kind of scared of too is alien abduction. I definitely like the idea because I kind of believe in aliens a little bit. Not that they've really come to Earth or anything, but the potential's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I
find it fascinating. Yeah,
I actually do believe Travis Walton was probably abducted. So? Yeah, and I do think that Betty and Barney were also abducted. Betty and Barney Hill were.
That was something he was watching or something before he went in the woods or something, right?
Oh, no. That's like another case. That's like another really, really famous abduction case where it's like they both saw, it was like an elderly African American couple, and they were driving home on this road, and they both saw the cigar shaped craft, and they blacked out. They had like 4 hours of missing time, and when they came to, like, their car was on the side of the road.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, like, they reported it, and they did everything, and nobody believed them, and they didn't really care. But then this guy put them under hypnosis, and it was like crazy. So basically, any horror movie where you see any or sci-fi movie where you see someone who's been abducted under hypnosis, and they start giving these horrid details, that's what happened basically with the Betty and Barney thing. So basically, they make this this book into a movie, which is basically the book he wrote, which is his story. So
it's called The Walton Experience.
Oh, dude,
that's the name of the book.
Yeah. The thing is, in real life, they all ace the lie detectors.
Yeah, but I had to go more into it. I had to look on the Wikipedia, which I don't know how true it is, but they said generally considered a hoax. I don't know. Okay. I believe it. I believe that the stuff theoretically could happen, but it's weird because the movie really doesn't focus on the abduction as much. It's more about the skepticism of the abduction. But then it has that whole thing where I think it's like the last 40 minutes or something I marked down, where he comes back and then he starts having these weird flashbacks, and that's where the horror part comes in. That's where I think it affects.
Yeah, that's where the argument comes in, where it's like, hey, dude, this is like Alien, basically, and it's like Alien torture porn, and I meant Alien as in like Ridley Scott's Alien, but I mean it's like it's like when they show him like on the craft and they show the flashbacks to all the stuff that they do to him, which like, by the way, I already knew that the needle was going in the eye. So like once the weird thing started to come down, at a certain point, I started chuckling because I was like, okay, dude, this is extremely exaggerated. It's like, yeah, man. So first I escaped from this slimy pod. And then zero gravity, obviously. I walked on my hands, and
that was cool. I mean, the effects, though.
Totally.
I mean,
totally.
And then on
looks
the
awesome,
the high def transfer, like I said, the last time I had seen it, I had never seen it on VHS or DVD, and I was watching it. I was like, man, this. You could tell it's a quality film because it holds up to the transfer, and then the effects still look freaking good, man. That sequence on the ship at the end, I mean, was pretty crazy. I mean, that looked pretty good.
Yeah, I would urge anybody to see it while it's on Netflix because it was on Netflix when I first got Netflix streaming. So this is one of those movies that, which, by the way, I'm sure this started happening to a lot of people because I think Netflix made some changes again, like with like inventory because they dropped off obviously Phantoms, But fuck, what was the other one? I had two that just basically they like pop up magically in your list and they haven't ever been there, but they're there again because they're added and you added it when it was there. So you're like, holy crap, fire this guy! And you just like jump out of your skin like that's so cool. And then
pretty good. I mean,
Usual Suspects. That one's back on there. That's what it is.
Got it.
Yeah, because that popped up in my list too, and I was like, oh man, weird.
Yeah. Well, that's what the cool thing is. If you have it on your list and it comes back in, it's going to be there.
Dude.
Or the other list they have on there that's kind of cool is the watch it again or whatever. It's like a best of at least what they have directly at that second.
Yeah. You know what I need to watch again that always pops up? The Factory. That's like another one that
I haven't
slips
seen that
by.
one all the way through.
Yeah. Because it's like it was one of those movies where it's like, okay, cool. John Cusack's gonna come in. And, we got Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter, and this is going to be, the freaking Hispanic werewolf guy from Vampire Diaries is in it for like 5 seconds, and you're like, sweet, man, it's going to be like really sweet. And then it got shelved, and then they were like, let's just sell it to Netflix. And then everyone's like, what is this? What is this low budget crap? And it's like, no, it's a solid, trippy film. And there's a huge twist at the end, and I didn't even see the twist coming. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'll watch it.
Pretty good. It's not horror necessarily, but it's
like a cop, right? He's after a serial killer or something?
Yeah.
Daughter or something, right? I know it. It's a typical plot, right?
Typical plot, yeah. It's not typical John Cusack though. It is typical. It is like you would see like Nicolas Cage in this role or something, but it's like John Cusack does usually go, all right, cool.
Some of those. John Cusack's starting to do some of those I Need a Paycheck movies though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I have that one, The Contract, on Blu-ray. That's actually a pretty good film too, but and then I think Cell's coming out too, right? He's in it, right?
Cell?
That Stephen King one's called Cell.
Oh, okay.
Right. Comes out any day, actually, now I think I know.
Oh, that's finally going to come out. Dude, I remember when that book came out, everyone's like, oh my God, man.
I never read it, but I kind of know what it is about, and I was like, it came out when the zombie rage kind of came out, and then now it's like, I guess it's coming out straight to VOD or something.
See? That's what happens. That's what happened in Fire in the Sky, bro. No.
Fire in the Sky holds up. It's a good movie, but it's more like a really good TV movie of the week, sort of. Except for that, I mean, there's just too much drama to it because basically the plot is the cops questioning them, so they have flashbacks, and then halfway through the movie they find D.B. Sweeney's character, Travis Walton, and then from there, the cops, are still saying it's BS. Basically, they say it's BS basically till the end.
Yeah, but my whole thing when I was saying, keep in mind, audience, that like that's his best friend, Robert Patrick is his best friend, and he is Hank Hill. Like, he's like a Hank Hill, like, straight shooter, like, God-fearing man, like, I don't screw around, I would never lie, I would never fuck around on my woman, like, it's straight up, we saw him get struck down by this light from this thing, and they're like, yeah, but you can't expect us to believe that. Hey, maybe you murdered him. Everyone in the town thinks you murdered him. It's like, huh? Why would you randomly murder your best friend? Now, the cop thought that Craig Sheffer, who
Sheffer
by the way is
Drifter.
playing the like playing like a Mexican Vietnam vet. Like I like what? Like,
Yeah, he was like chilling with a bandana the whole time. It was pretty good actually. He did look pretty creepy, but he clearly,
he's a white guy, isn't he?
I don't know. It was a weird film. Like
It was like he was doing brown face.
Resolve. What?
He was doing brown face, dude.
What was that?
They were making him out to be like Mexican or something, or like Native American, but he's like a white guy. That just wouldn't fly nowadays. There'd be a hashtag or something. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
In the 90s, people didn't care. They still did what they wanted to do.
Yeah, so Craig Sheffer's character has, I guess, doesn't like Travis.
Yeah.
So they have like words, and there's a scene where they're working on their contract, which is basically they use giant chainsaws to cut down trees in the forest, and they're like doing some, I don't know, it's like show of force. Craig Sheffer has his chainsaw held up like he's gonna like cut like
they're talking crap to each other basically, and
yeah, and then like they both end up like having like a standoff with the chainsaws at each other, and then finally they just
and
put it
then
down.
Robert Patrick is like their daddy, breaks them up.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the weirdest movie though, because there's nothing really. I mean, he disappears. They grill the guys. They have the best scene of the movies when he's on the ship, and then it's just like, "Are you my friend still? We're friends still. All right." And then they drive off into the sunset.
I know, but I like that because like
it's not like.
I
More
mean,
about the characters. Yeah. I mean, it's more about the people.
Well, yeah, but like I think
I prefer. Yeah, I would prefer it if they would have took the chainsaws to each other and.
Well, I mean, obviously, like that'd be like way cooler. But I like how it's sort of like a soft blow, except for his recollection, because everything that we see, like even by the way, Robert Patrick is like chewing up scenery. His acting is like he's like in his prime. He's on point. Because he even does this scene where he basically walks in on the townspeople in the church talking about him and his crew, calling them murderers, and he's just like, he's just like he just like calls them out. He's like, dude, he's like, dude, I fucking went to school with my wife. What about you, bro? My fucking kids go to school with your kids. Are you guys gonna sit here and seriously think that I murder? But not once. Not once. And I don't care if that's not how it really happened. They should have put in the script. Not once did he go, Travis Walton is my best friend. He just went, I miss Travis. I miss him every day. I wish I could bring him back. That just sounds like you killed somebody. But I mean, like, he should have said, you guys, okay, I get that we're like Hicks, even though this is Arizona. We all have an accent. I'm very confused about where we are. The point is, why don't you guys just use your logic? Why would I kill my best friend, whom I make more money than, and whom I was just like, hey man, like that's like my like screw up best friend. Why would I kill that guy? That doesn't make sense. Now, so I go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it makes sense for Craig Sheffer to kind of kill him because he had a criminal background and all this nonsense. But
they were saying they pulled the stunt to get out of their logging contract.
Which is, it's like, dude,
it kind of made me laugh.
His wife was just like, "Where's the money?" Oh, by the way, have you seen a wife turn on somebody faster?
Exactly.
I hate wives like that. It reminds me of Tim Robbins' wife in Mystic River, who basically just sells him out and then he gets fucking shanked. I mean, sorry, spoiler alert. It's just like, how could you sell out? Dude, oh God. Yeah. Oh, that just makes me crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I forgot what I was going to say now, but it was just, that was kind of, his wife was another thing. Yeah, I don't know. And then, did you like at the end when he was super burly?
He was like,
when you hadn't seen him in 2 years and everything, the last 10 minutes, the riding off the sunset part, and he really looked like, he looked like Dimebag Darrell, basically.
I love it. I love it because it's like, they weren't okay. I don't think they were trying. I don't think they were trying to do the thing where they were going, "Hey, you know what? This guy moved away, because he felt like he let down his best friend." Because basically, once Travis comes back, Travis finds out that he's like, "Hey, man, after I went back, and he's like, you went back? What do you mean, you left me there? And he's like, well, come on, man, everyone thought you were dead, but I went back. He's basically like, yeah, screw you, bro. So they don't talk for 2 years, and in that 2 years, he has, I don't know, he makes lots of money in that 2 years, and has like nice car, has a baby, and there's no aliens anymore. But I mean, like, I like that, I like how they drive out to the spot, and he's just like getting out, and then they have their little like talk, and then he's just like, all right, man, let's get out of here before they come back. And he's like,
book about this shit.
And he's like, I don't think they're coming back.
Make some money.
Well, I mean,
money off this story, Travis.
I mean, dude, what do you call it? If they were all white guys,
we're all white guys.
If they were, I mean, like in real life,
white guy playing Craig Sheffer,
basically,
whatever the hell he was supposed to be,
he was.
I'm like a white guy with long hair and a bandana, either Native American or possibly Latino. But his character's name was Alan Dallas, so I think he's just supposed to be like a greasy white guy,
right? Alan Dallas, but Dallas, Llis, which is weird. Like, I was like, what? That's
they don't really they don't build up on that part, the mystery of that at all. And the thing I was gonna say earlier was that I had forgot because I got momentarily abducted for a second. Was James Garner's character? I never liked James Garner before, and then certainly the first time I saw this, because I didn't remember he was in it. But now I'm like, I am James Gardner, so that's kind of why I think I liked his character. I would have been calling bullshit on their story right away, just like him. That's why I was like, I enjoy James Gardner because he's like, I'll be back. No matter how long it takes for them to like F up, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And he heels out in his fucking big ass car.
That's why it's like, I was just like, he was literally quintessential like sheriff guy, basically. Like, he was just like, he was like sitting there like talking crap. He was but yeah,
sure, son. Sure, what really happened out there, son?
yeah, like that kind of nonsense. But no, man, like, as his like last line, as you talked about, which is basically like, them boys are gonna slip up, and when they do, I'll be right there to throw the book at them. And you're like, really, dude? Like, that's so
really
hackney. It's like, what, man? Yeah. It's like, really? Aren't you from Phoenix, which is really far away, and the big city to all of them?
Yeah, it just made me laugh. I was like, that's pretty. He just seemed like kind of like a jerk, but I was like, come on, he just went out there to like hang out and investigate it too. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
seemed to have a pretty easy job, basically.
Okay. So basically, aboard the mothership or whatever it was.
I need autographs now, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Famous, huh?
You know what, dude? Dude, where's Snowflake, Arizona? Because
I'm assuming it's at a high elevation. Because I was like, is there a lot of forests in Arizona? I thought it was a desert, and then like their job was clearing forest. So I mean, I know there's probably some parts with brush and everything, but I was
right. Isn't there like is Flagstaff? Is that Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that place. Yeah.
I'm assuming since it called.
I have like researched that. Yeah. I had researched Flagstaff before when I was looking at like places that are like affordable to live that that like aren't super hot, I guess, and they were like, actually, this part of Arizona isn't hot very much, and there's snow sometimes and all this stuff, and I was like, that's really weird. So probably if you go up there, but it's got to be closer to somewhere because they have accents.
I don't understand all that, but it was like 1975, and then at first I was like, because I put it on, and then I was like, is it Arizona? I wasn't like, I didn't catch it right away, even though it said it. And it was just like, oh, it's Arizona. And then I was thinking, Arizona's not a good place to have an alien abduction movie. But then at the same time, I was like, it is the perfect place because, they've had the Arizona lights and all that crap. So,
yeah.
I'm like, I guess it technically is the perfect place. And I don't know.
I thought it was Oregon for a while. I literally thought they were in Oregon. And then I was like, wait a minute, they're where? And I was like, Arizona.
They seem like, because they're like loggers. But, I guess my thinking's limited to, my stereotypes. So I don't think of, logging or, clear cutting that much in Arizona. I think more brush, not like woods, but
yeah,
that's like some apparently that's the part they weren't lying about. The part that they were probably lying about was the abduction, if they were lying or whatever the hell happened.
Yeah,
you think they beat his ass and then he came back maybe just like survived or something? Or
No, man. I mean, I think he probably got abducted. And what I think is interesting about it too is that when he's aboard the mothership, he basically sees the aliens in their sort of suspended like animation, and they're in spacesuits, and the spacesuits are what have the almond eyes.
Yeah.
So that's like, I guess, the Travis Walton theory, I guess if you want to call it that, or his account, is that the aliens I saw looked like big-headed old men, red raisins with eyes, but
according to the
in their
Wikipedia
spaceship
page, it says it was livened up for his accounts were livened up for the movie. So, I mean, they got to make it. I mean, it was a good movie. They're not going to have like a crappy depiction of aliens. I mean, even though it's become pretty generic overall, his description of
Yeah, all I could think about when this movie was over is the movie that I watched because like you recommended it, and it's like one word, and the like alien rips out someone's intestines, and they bring an alien back, and they like have it tied up in the garage. And
Altered.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Altered. Altered.
Yeah, Altered.
That movie is weird as freaking creepy, dude. Like the alien is like, oh god, yeah. You guys should.
Another one too that I think is actually on Netflix too is Dark Skies. That movie like got a lot of crap because it came out in February, but the end on that one was kind of like a little twister. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like cool. I remember the end of that one being cool. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Has
that's a Carrie Russell
girl
one, right?
From
Carrie Russell.
Is that her name? The girl from what was the show she was on?
Felicity.
Yeah, it's her. But it's kind of cool at the end because if the aliens are really that powerful, it's something like the end of that movie could happen. I don't know. I got a lot of crap, but I kind of enjoyed it. It was one of those February movies that I kind of liked.
Yeah, I'm sort of like in between like movies like that movie Altered, all weird, where it's like the like alien like is like you see the alien and they're like fighting with the alien. It's super super creepy and cool. Like like that movie seriously is underrated. Like I've never heard anyone talk about that really, but you.
That was a bit of a creature feature. Yeah, what's the same guy that did Blair Witch and
yeah, it's like he has like a Hispanic
name and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, dude. I didn't like what the fuck did it like Seventh Moon or something weird.
Yeah,
with
that's one of his
Amy
too.
Smart and nonsense.
That
fucking movie was ridiculous.
I watched it one time and I actually didn't think it was that bad, but it's not one of his better ones. Yeah, he did some of the stuff on VHS, part 2, and then he did Exist, which I liked about Sasquatch, and then what else did he do? Something recently.
Oh! Did you see both Bigfoot movies, Bobcat Goldthwait and?
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Were they?
Which
one's
one, right?
better? I didn't see any of them yet. Which one was
I
better?
like Exist better, but a lot of people like that. I think the Bobcat Goldthwait one got more critical acclaim, but it's basically two people in a tent for the last 20 minutes of the movie, and can we give spoilers? Nothing happens basically. You don't ever really see anything. Maybe like a glimpse or something. At least Existed paid off a little bit on the Sasquatch and.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I was going to think, yeah.
But they're both found footage actually. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude. I mean, I just remember when it started happening because you know how like one person will like pick up something, like they'll go, "Hey, man, sorry, hold on, this is going to be weird. Yeah. Who do you think is the first dude who was like, hey, what would be scary? 19th century little girl in a wet gown with wet hair? No way, really? Yeah, shadowy and weird, like standing in the hallway. All right, well, let's be the first to do this." And then every movie ever, it was either like a wet woman or like a wet little girl in like, by the way, old school pajamas. So they always died in their pajamas, like that part.
Pajamas, yeah.
I don't really get it, but. So yeah, I always just wonder who's the first one, and exists. Not exists, but the like Sasquatch thing. Somebody was like, "Hey, what would be a good idea for Bigfoot? Found footage. Why hasn't anyone done that?"
At least
like, I know.
That's what I was gonna say. At least certain things like lend themselves a little more to it.
Oh yeah.
At least being outside in the woods lends itself to that type of movie a little bit more.
True. Oh, by the way, we are presented by Podcast in the Woods, which is a podcast that I do, which recently has gotten over 50,000 downloads. But this show contributes to that as well because it's part of the same feed. I know. They're like, really? Adam Carolla gets like 2 million a day. I'm like, all right.
Okay. So, I mean, hey, you got to start something.
Yeah, 3 years. No. But that only took 1 year. That was the big deal. It wasn't 50,000 downloads. Wasn't the big deal. The big deal was on the feed that I started. It's gonna be. Oh wait. Oh shit. This is our anniversary year. It's June 22nd. I think is our 3-year anniversary, and I changed feeds. So I changed over to like a different web page, and I uploaded all our episodes to a completely different feed. And in less than 1 year, it was like 2 weeks ago, we got 50,000 downloads. So I was like, cool. Oh, dude, maybe we'll get it to 100, bro.
Got it.
And then what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it'll be fun.
Just keep going. Exactly.
I guess we'll just keep going. No one's going to give me money though.
Just keep going.
Travis Walton already told me to stop calling him names. So I'm like, all right, no.
I don't like your partner. He doesn't believe my story. Sorry, Travis. I mean, I'm like, I love horror. I love sci-fi. I love all that stuff. But I'm a skeptic, and it's just, I'm James Gardner in this movie, so. Like I said, the movie is fine. It's just, I don't know. It's a good alien abduction movie, I guess. I don't know.
It is.
Look at its contemporaries.
You see, my thing is I like drama, and I like drama when it's used as.
Because you like all those 90s WB shows or whatever.
WB?
Whatever, CW or whatever it's called.
The WB? No, yeah. Well, yeah, dude, Vampire Diaries, One Tree Hill. What else? No. Oh, well, I mean, the OC, that's Fox, though. That's different. That's different, though. I'm a Fox kid. Like, when I was growing up, all my parents watched were Fox. Was Fox. Fox,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Simpsons, Herman's Head, 90's. Come on.
Yeah, I watched a lot of stuff too. Herman's Head, awesome. Only show I ever went to go see live recorded.
Seriously? Wow, isn't that weird that I randomly said that show?
Yes.
When you're like, that's the only one.
That is weird, yeah.
Yeah, actually, the only
intimate knowledge of the production of,
Yeah.
Herman's Head, no joke.
No. The only show that I ever saw taped live was what was it? It was Craig. Was it Late Night with Craig Kilborn or whatever the hell it was? Back when Craig Kilborn hosted it and Ben Affleck was on.
It's the third power.
So it was weird. So like we got to see like Ben Affleck in person, and it was really really weird. Like he's like, I mean, at the time this was I was in high school. Yeah. Oh yeah. This like what is it? The PlayStation 2 had just come out, I think, and he was telling a story about Matt Damon being in Paris or something, and how he was like send me a PlayStation 2 because I plugged it into their sockets and it blew it out. So he was like, oh yeah, okay. No problem. So he like sent him like another one, and he sent the little piece that you're supposed to use, but then it was the wrong piece, so it blew out that one. And he's like, so I had to send him like 3 PlayStation 2s. I'm like, dang, you guys have a lot of money, bro, because that just came out. It's like $700 right now. Yeah, that's all I remember. Okay, so wait, what was I gonna say? No, Sightings. I was going to talk about, not Sightings, although that is 90's. Signs. Signs is one of my all-time favorite alien films too, because based solely on the fact that, and I feel like it almost ruins it a little bit when they show the alien at the end, because the aliens don't look as cool. But Signs is still one of my just tension, dude. The freaking when M. Night Shyamalan tells Mel Gibson, "I have one trapped in the pantry," and he goes to the pantry. Come on, man, that scene's crazy, and he uses a knife to look under there. Do you remember that film?
I only remember that they were allergic to water or whatever.
Dude, that film is really solid. I watched
it the other day, actually. It's funny that you mentioned it, but
dude, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah. Come on. What? He's alive? I'm like, well, I know. He was really good in it.
No, yeah, I mean, he's good. I mean, that's like some of the best actors, so.
Yeah,
I still
totally.
like Mel Gibson. I still like Mel Gibson. So
Oh, even though, the whole Jew thing.
and racist, I guess.
The whole Jew thing, and I'm really, really sorry about your big Jewish noses. Remember that? Did you see that Family Guy? Did you see that Family Guy where they were showing the Mel Gibson like apology?
Okay, got it. Yeah,
that was really good. And it's like when Mel Gibson apologizes, and he's like, "I'm very, very sorry about your stingy Jewish ways, and I'm sorry about your big Jewish noses." Whatever. Pretty great.
That's the thing with me. I can separate them from their, drunken roadside versus just their movies. I care what they do in the movies. I don't care what obviously that offensive stuff, but I just like Tom Cruise, I like Tom Cruise's movies, and my wife makes fun of me. You're a Tom Cruise fanboy. I'm like, I watched Tom Cruise since I was a little kid. So
well, I didn't know that you couldn't be a Jeepers Creepers fan because Victor Salva's a fucking pedophile.
Oh, yeah, so, well, that's the same type of thing. It's like he did his time, whatever. I don't appreciate. Like I did a review for one of his movies, and like at the video, I said, yeah, believe me, I wouldn't trust my kids around him, but he did his time, and if you believe in the system, and Jesus Christ, it's just a movie. I mean, if the guy, and one thing I'll give him credit for too, is you hear all these people bitching that they can't make a movie or get a movie made. I'm like, this motherfucking guy's making movies, and he's. I don't. Maybe it shows how bad Hollywood is, but
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, all that crap came out recently about Hollywood having a pedophile problem, according to who was it? Radio Flyer, wasn't it? Radio Flyer that said it. Elijah Wood said it first.
Yeah, he said it, and then Corey Feldman was saying it, and then a few years back, you remember they were trying to throw Singer, Bryan Singer out there on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's probably true. I mean.
Well, I mean, like it just sucks that that doesn't further the sort of gay movement when you're just going like, oh, Bryan Singer, so he's gay and he's trying to have sex with young boys, so see what that is, and I'm like, well, that's.
But it just shows at the same time, doesn't matter what your sexuality is.
That's true.
Be a bad guy,
Dude, I agree with that. So I wanted to look up Robert Lieberman because when I saw his name, the director, I was like, this guy looks familiar. And yeah, D3, The Mighty Ducks, bro.
Oh, right. I don't think I've ever seen that.
All I Want for Christmas, 1991.
I've never seen it, I don't think.
Why does that sound so? I'm actually clicking on it. Is that like John
he did an X-Files episode also, too. I was looking at his thing. He's done a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. And a Dark, what is it, Dark or whatever Skies, the one that's from
Steven Spielberg, the Alien Invasion show. Yeah, that show is pretty cool. What is that show called off the top? Do you have it there?
Falling Skies.
Falling Skies, that's it. Yeah, I watched that entirely from the beginning to the end. Every single episode. That's how pathetic.
Holy shit, dude! All I Want for Christmas.
He did that movie.
Yeah, well, no. All I Want for Christmas. Ethan Embry's in it, formerly a guest on Podcast in the Woods. Thora Birch, Kevin Nealon. Whoa, come 90s. On, Lauren Bacall.
You were like a 90s expert, huh?
Dude, I'm younger than you. I think a little bit.
Yes, a lot. Yeah.
No, I'm 33. Is that a lot?
Almost, yeah.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Yeah, you're 8 years younger than me. I'm old, man.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize.
I'm a geezer, son.
Yeah. You don't seem
Fire
like
in the
that
Sky
old.
came out the year I got a.
Oh right, you just said you were 18. You're like, man, I was 18.
Yeah, you were 18. That's what I said. I was like Travis Walton, man. I showed up a few days. I'll fuck the fuck up.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
No, I mean, yeah, dude. No.
PG-13 movie, but it's not PG-13 podcast, right?
No, of course not, dude. I curse all the time on this shit. But no, you know what, dude? That is crazy. So yeah, dude. I am a '90s guy because of that. Because like that was I just finished. Actually, I didn't finish. I'm now on like episode 4 of season 2 of Charmed because I just rewatched the whole first season, and I'm gonna try to rewatch all of them. And dude. Damn, is that show not just like one? I completely forgot that Shannon Doherty had like body karate, as they would say.
Like karate? What's that?
Basically, everything they put her in, like they put her in these tight pencil skirts, and they put her in these like tight like sweaters with like no bra, and her nipples are always hard. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't realize they were sexualizing Shannon Doherty so much.
Well, now you know. See, when you watch, like I said, when you watch stuff 10 years now from now, it's going to change your opinion. That's a cool thing about watching these movies over like the span of like 20 years. It's like, I didn't like James Garner before. Now I'm James Garner. See?
Yeah, no, I mean, totally, dude, but I mean, not only that, because I knew that they were going to sexualize in Charmed, obviously you're going to sexualize Alyssa Milano's character because, she was in all those Candies ads at the time, and, she was Alyssa Milano in the 90s, so of course. But the part, still, but it's like, Shannon Doherty was always Brenda Walsh to me from 90210, so...
Showing your like true colors, yeah.
Yeah, because I was a kid when that was on, and you're like, man, I was drunk half the time that show was on. I'm like, really?
I watched 90210 though. No, that had to be right at the end. I think that was. I was still watching TV.
Yeah, so. I think, but I think 90210 started in 88 or 89.
That's what I'm saying. See,
that's what I want to think. Yeah, so yeah.
I got it in before I started getting hammered.
Right, and like 90210 was also one of those things where it's like well into high school. It was like tonight on 90210, and I'm like, that's still on. And then it's like, Brandon has trouble making his mortgage payment, and I'm like, oh. Yeah, that's not the same show for me. It's like that's weird.
Got in a fight at school, and he has to take care of it.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute, what? He used to get into fights. Now it's like he's taking care of his kids. Well, this is weird. It's like when Dexter had kids in season 4. They're like, now you're just off the rails. All right, well, check out Podcast in the Woods on iTunes, obviously, because that's where all of our 50,000 downloads came from. So check us out on iTunes. You can check out the website at podcastinthewoods.wordpress.com or podinthewoods.podbean.com, facebook.com/podinthewoods, at podinthewoods on Twitter and Instagram. What do you got, man? What do you want to plug?
Oh, what stuff I got to plug? Just caldwell3.com. It's CAUWEL3.com. That's it. You can go and watch all my movie reviews on that website.
And you should, because they're really well put together, and he knows more about putting together a video than I do, and he's older than me. See, that doesn't make sense, right? Because I'm like, I don't even know how to use any of this technology. I'm all YouTube. I don't know how to use that. You're like, aren't you the young one? I'm like, I am, but I don't know anything about YouTube.
It's a crazy journey.
Well, yeah, I know, man. Like I said, he went down the route of YouTube, and I went down the route of podcasting, and we met somewhere in between for this show.
There you go.
All right, guys, we'll see you next month. And we might be talking Phantoms. We might be talking something else from the 90s, but we will keep you posted.
Make suggestions.
Oh, yeah, suggestions would be good. So you can hit him up or hit me up on the appropriate social medias. You don't like Twitter, huh? You're not a Twitter guy?
Well, I mean, you can talk to me there at Joe Caldwell.
Okay, good. Follow at Joe Caldwell.
If you want to send me a message there.
That's right, man. Get some of those suggestions going. Hey, and any listeners, you guys listening, suggest, man. Suggest ahead. Everyone knows all my information. Okay, so we'll see you guys next month. I am Shane, and with me is Joe. And we'll see you guys. Take care. Oh, wait. Keep it creepy. Forgot. That's what I say.
Oh, you say keep it creepy?
Keep it 90s. Right.